Well, we've come to this. We are now reviewing Nazisploitation on this channel. Not that it's the first Nazisploitation film I've ever reviewed, because over the years of running ZombiesDon'tRun.net, I've covered a whole lot of Nazisploitation. But this time it's in the form of Blu-ray. This comes from 88 Films, which I'm familiar with 88 Films because I used to do their UK reviews. But now, through MVD, they are American titles now coming out from them, or American release title, I should say. But this is 88 Films' I want to say Gestapo's last orgy. I believe that's Gestapo's. This is his last orgy. Who knew he had first one? But nonetheless, here it is. This was released a number of years ago from the what's that sub-label that SRS does? It's like some kind of like not SRS, excuse me, Severn does. What is the name of that? I don't remember. But they usually release a bunch of like shot on video stuff. I'm pretty sure they put this out on DVD a number of years ago. But here it is in crisp HD. Not that anybody particularly asked for it, but it is one of the more disturbing films you'll find out there. It basically tells the tale of a girl who, thanks to the start of the film, we know escaped a Nazi concentration camp where basically she was used as a sex slave, amongst other things. And she meets up with the guy who used to be the guard there. And at first you're like, well, maybe this was like the one decent Nazi in the whole concentration camp. But as we proceed to tell the story, we find out pretty quickly that he was one of the worst. And basically he fell in love with her because he couldn't break her. He tried to do all kinds of torturous acts to her, and he does a number of torturous acts to her, but it just couldn't break her. So he's kind of in love with her, and it's like a whole complicated thing. I don't want to spoil the story altogether, but basically the plot of the movie is that she goes to the concentration camp. She wants to die anyway for reasons that we learn about later on. He finds this, and this is like the one girl there that just doesn't care what they do to her, and it kind of, I guess, turns him on in a sick way. Amongst the other stories there, we have a little subplot of a Nazi soldier falling in love with another girl, and what happens because of that. We have a female Nazi guard who's hot. It's a girl. And she likes to feed women who are on their menstrual cycle to her pet dogs, and it turns her on. Turning people on seems to be the key story here, because this is nonetheless Gestapo's last orgy. So plenty of blood, plenty of sick things here. Shades of Salo, in the 100 and whatever days of whatever it is movie that I do have. And even though I don't know the name of it, here it is. I haven't watched this one since I bought it. This one here is Salo and the 120 Days of Sodom. You get that kind of vibe in this. Maybe a little bit more dingier, a little bit more grimy, but you get that here. The movie to me wasn't enjoyable because I'm just not into this sort of thing. It's if I want to watch porn, there's Pornhub and it's free. I'm sure you can find it with people dressed as Nazis if you're into that sort of thing. But as is, the acting's good for what it is. I don't really care for the content personally, so I'm giving this movie a 2 out of 5 on movie-wise. Movie-wise, that's what I'm giving it. But it definitely is a great release from 88 Films regardless. You get the slipcase. And here's a quick look at the extras you get on this release. Probably one of the big highlights is the couple of audio commentaries you get. Audio commentaries are always fun, and when it comes to something like this, might make watching it all the more enjoyable. You also get an alternate ending, by the way, which is a little more tragic than the one we actually see in the main version. There's that. It looks great for what it is. I mean, I think it's probably a movie a lot of people probably didn't expect would look that good, but it does. So if you're into this sort of thing, if you're a Nazisploitation fan, then you can put this right next to your whatever movie that was that Blue Underground put out a number of years ago. It was SS Hell Camp or something like that. There's the disc in there, and it's a great release. Like, they went all in for this movie. Like I said, I just don't particularly care for the movie per se. There's your reversible cover there. But for what it is, the release is good. I just wish the movie was more my cup of tea. I'm just really not into the whole Nazi thing. Here is a poster, a fold-out poster featuring both covers that you get with this. Don't think I'll be hanging out in the dining room, but it's cool to have nonetheless. And it also comes with a little booklet that, just flipping the pages here, there's really not much I can show you without getting banned. So that's that. That's Gestapo's Last Orgy from 88 Films, one of their first Region A based releases. And it's not my cup of tea, but it's a great release for a movie that I don't care about. So if it's your sort of thing, check it out.